Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what lighting you should use in a arena or venues around the UK. Now this is something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time. I've been doing lights in loads of different areas, in schools, in theatres and in other areas of the UK. And some fixtures out there, some people are saying, well, bulbs are better than LED and all that kind of stuff. But this is what I'm going to be saying about what lights you should really buy and what you should use in your venue. Let's go. Most of you guys may know about these big things. Old little car lights. Now, also, it's a really old fixture, this one is. This one's a halogen 500 watt fixture. And as you can see, all this rig, everything, this thing is giant. It's bigger than any other fixture and it's got very least amount of features. Now, if I take it to about the wall, it's not really that bright. It's got a really yellow tinge to it and makes it a really nice warm light fixture. But these things are getting lower and lower to get. There's very bare minimum of these around the place you can buy these. You can buy these brand new, but some people normally use these once or twice. But in the near future, we won't be able to have these at all. Now the reason is because halogen bulbs, if you guys didn't know this, in 2020, halogen bulbs will not be available at all in the UK. And I think in Europe as well. So halogen bulbs are end of in 2020. So that might some people may be thinking, okay, then that's it. We can't buy these fixtures anymore. Well, yes and no, because there's companies out there like ADJ, Equinox, and Elation. They're making fixtures that are like this, mainly the ADJ 3K. They're making one of these, which is an LED version, and it's exactly got this kind of colour, which is a really nice warm white colour. But the only problem with these ones is that from about here I can feel the heat. It's really hot, which is a bit of a downside, because if you had 50 of these in an arena, you may the arena may need a lot of air conditioning units to keep the area under 12 degrees. So these things get extremely hot, mainly the outside and the bulb and the projection that comes out gets so hot that some stages and some places need extreme amount of air conditioning units to just keep the audience and the stage and fixtures on, which is, well, kind of confusing. Now, yeah, I have 4 of these actually, and I use these things for photo booths, but I don't really use them anymore because they're really old fixtures and they're just like, really, do you need to buy one of these, or do you really need to not bother? Because in real events you can buy an LED fixture, which I'm going to be getting to in a minute. But the other thing that people don't want to go to LED is the price. Now, you can buy one of these just as it is with the bulb for about used or brand new for 50 quid possibly, very cheap. But in real life, in LEDs, they're around to 150 to 200 pounds. Now the reason it's because of that is because they have the connections, which means they have a controlling network, they have all the controls inside the fixture. So at the back of the fixture, you're able to control the dim and curve, you're able to control how bright the fixture is, you're able to control the strobe. That's, with these things, you can't do strobe, you can only do the dimming curves and that kind of stuff, which makes these things really hard to create some really cool effects. With LEDs and that kind of stuff, they're really good. And colour. Now this is a gel that I have multiple of these, but they are really dark gels. You can see that is pink, and I can't. There. That's how bright the colour is. It's really dull. So yeah, colour gels, you can only use one in each fixture. You can't use multiple. Or you can buy a colour scroller, which is something you can find on the internet. I've found a few. Those people are selling them on the internet because they're really old. Par fixtures going out of the window, and as people are saying, bulb fixtures, we need to move on. So yeah, people are starting to sell tons of these, but people are still saying we can't buy them because we haven't got anywhere to put them. So these things will be going in the next couple of days for good, which is, well, something you wouldn't really want to have for safety reasons. So yeah, that's really hot. I don't want to touch it. So that's how dangerous bulb fixtures are. They get super hot. You can't use them for DJs anymore because what I do uplighting, all that kind of stuff. These things next to a wall, some things may go not that well, and also when the bulb breaks and when you're trying to get a bulb, you can't normally get it that moment. You have to go out and buy it, which for some people is a bit like, God, really? Do I really need to go and buy one? So that's why those people are saying you might as well go to LED. LED's a lot cheaper and better. In real events, they're right, but actually some people don't listen because they're thinking it's too much. In real events, getting a bulb for one of these, in the near future you may need to buy 15 or 20 bulbs to make sure your market is stocked up so you can use these lights for the next 5 years after 2020. So I'm not really want to use these things anymore. So next thing, LED pars. Now this, the camera might not see it, but this is an LED par fixture. Now this has got multiple colours, so it's got red, green and blue. So like this par, this old thing, only had one colour, and that's warm white. This thing has 3. You can get fixtures with 4, 5 or 6. There are actually things with 7 or 8 colours, but they're mainly the main professional ones, which are people who are really bored of colour mixing with different LEDs. So LEDs came out in, well, just when these things were coming out. So people like saying, why didn't we go for LED instead of bulb? It's back in the old days, loads of people wanted to go for this instead of this. But the technology now has increased exponentially huge. These things, each one is, well, this part itself is 30 watts. Now some people may be saying, okay, 30 watts, that's nothing, we might as well not buy it. But this is about the same brightness as this fixture, which is just like, people are like, wow, that's quite bright. But the other thing people are saying is, why is there individual LEDs? Is that a negative? Yes and no. It's a negative because in real events you get RGB shadows, which is where you get in staging opportunities, when you do staging lights with multiple of these, when you put your hand in front of it, you get these red, green and blue colours shadows on your fingers, which is really, really, like, it's bad to look at. It's really bad. So loads of people are saying LED fixtures like this, not good enough. LEDs with more separate LEDs, even worse, because they are, well, even worse. Well, ones with less LEDs are better. Mainly ones with one LED, which is, well, 6 LEDs, which are, well, 6 big LEDs which have each 3 colours inside. They are a lot better. Now I haven't got those, sadly, I just don't, but those are a lot better and, well, and better to use in the staging environment. Now the reason is, so you may be saying, why? because you don't get any RGB shadows and you get a pure colour. So fixtures like the Megapar Profile Plus and other kind of pars that are from Equinox and that kind of stuff, I can't remember any of them, but those are pars that are just easy to use, set up, go, and you don't need to worry about complex programming on those kind of pars. When you get into professional range, yeah, you will need to worry about different things like the dimming curve, the address, the controlling mechanism, all that kind of sensitive stuff. Talking about sensitive stuff, all the other fixtures that are LED have fans. Now, these are what we call air units. Now, these are the units that have the fan inside and air rotates around them and it keeps the unit cool. It doesn't. It reduces a lot of noise, and for DJs, that's okay. That's okay. Don't even worry about it. Stages and theatres and areas like that, you need silent fixtures, otherwise people will maybe say, what is that humming noise? Like somebody did say to me, what is that sound? It sounds like a jet is taking off. Those were one of my lights beforehand, before I started using these pars. They did produce quite a lot of noise. You know, the problem with Chinese equipment, they do not do well with drops and other kind of things that you may use. Some heads, like moving heads like this thing, like really solid units, they're okay. But cheap pars and moving heads, all that kind of stuff, you will have a negative, which is you don't have warranty at all, and also when the fixture breaks, it breaks into millions of pieces, not just one, like some fixtures. Some fixtures are made out of aluminium, like a full-on par, but some people are saying, why have a metal par? They're a lot heavier. We're wanting to get light. I know, but it's about the brightness and performance of the fixtures, not about the weight. So that's what some people are saying. Some people are also saying, these big pars, I love the size, I love the actual weight. Yeah, but it's not really that kind of thing. LED bulb fixtures like this, heavy, indurable, and you can't trust them sometimes. You can't never trust them, because at any moment in time the bulb will go, or it may drop from the ceiling down to the ground. That's possible. But LED fixtures, lighter, easy to rig, and brighter. Now there are fixtures out there with not RGB. There are fixtures that have red, green, blue, white, amber, UV. Now UV, these are 6 colours. Some people will be saying RGB, that's red, green and blue. Amber, white and UV. Now white is a pure white LED engine, which is just for white. It's white. Not warm white, not all that kind of cool white. Now if you don't know what cool white is, it's a house kind of white light. Just look on the internet, cool white, and then you'll get the colour temperature of cool white. Really nice white colour, good for weddings and good for like really eerie moments in a theatre. So if you wanted to make that kind of like ghostly kind of effect, white is perfect for that. I'll talk about white in just a minute, and some fixtures in here that have got cool white engines. We're talking about pars, and the second one that I said is amber. Now amber, if you don't know what amber is, looking on the internet, the internet's better than me saying what it really is. When you get UV, amber, it's really nice kind of colour. It's like a sunset colour, really nice colour. It's good to like open up a scene saying it's morning, all that kind of stuff. That's perfect to open up a film or scene. Now the other one is UV. Now UV is black light, awesome colour, love it, really really nice. You do some stage shows, people do stage shows just with UV lights, and they look awesome, really cool, really nice thing to do, and they're really simple because it's just a UV light. But you can get them in LED, not in PARs, because people get PAR fixture with a UV bulb inside. That doesn't really work out sometimes, because even though they're 900 watts, they're not as powerful as a 50 watt hex LED, which is what the UV LED, sorry, the 10 watt UV LED, it'll overexpose this. It's super bright in UV LED. May not look at it on camera, but on other places, really bright. Now, with an LED, you can colour mix. Now, when I say colour mix, I mean you can change the colour of the fixture, which is like, you can turn to red, green and blue, you can turn to yellow, orange, including with amber and white, you can make a warm white, UV and red, you can make pink, and that pink pops, and that is a really cool colour. Yeah, it did do its stuff. Now, when I talk about fans and stuff, you may be thinking, okay, fans, what can we do? You can do a lot of things. You can put a filter on it, take it out, and do that kind of stuff. But with these PARs, the fixture will overheat and will shut off. That's how Chinese fixtures work nowadays. Or you can get a fixture which is a sealed unit like this one. This is a Mega PAR profile. Now this is the old version, that's why it's got this really long cable. It's because the transformer in this one broke 15 years ago. These things are quite old, which is a good job it's still working. All LEDs still work, which is good with this fixture. And it is really good fixture. But one awesome thing is that this thing doesn't produce any noise because it's a solid unit. So you could possibly use this thing in moist conditions. So outdoors, it can't go versus rain because DMX connections, all that kind of stuff will make it in and bang, your fixture goes. But it's a nice little unit to have because you know that it won't produce any noise. When we know it's noise, fan noise, that noise is really irritating when you're in a theatre and when you're doing a GCSE, when someone's doing their GCSE and you hear fans and it's like, shut up. It's just annoying with fans speeding up really fast. Now, that's why loads of companies like Alation and all those kind of guys are saying, buy these fixtures, because these are really silent. They're true, they're kind of correct. Like professional people like Elation, Martin and Robe, those guys are ones you may look at for huge arenas such as the O2 Arena. They may use those, as well as Clay Packy. But when you're in like a staging kind of people, like a school, you don't want like fixtures like the Mythos or any of those big things, because they could burn a hole in your ceiling or wall in the next couple of seconds, which is really bad. So fixtures that are like by ADJ or ProLight, those things are proper professional. Like these ones, these things are better than any of these other lights that I have. So yeah, definitely get fixtures that say no fans, no fan operated. Now ADJ don't say they have fans or anything like that. I don't know if their PAR fixtures do have fans, I'm not too sure, I may want to go and look that out. I've got up, but yeah, get solid units for drama and theatre places because so much noise. Move on to moving heads. Now this one is possibly my most, well, my head. This is one that I'm like, this is not a one that I truly love. This is one that I bought, we were thinking it was true and all that kind of stuff. Now here's a good thing. These things are not cheap. The non-branded fixtures, they're around £80 to £100 each. I mean, the branded ones, they're £155 each. Like the ADJ Pocket Sport and Pro, they are quite good fixtures. They're quite up there in the price. But one other thing I mean you can't trust about the internet is the comments and the description that people say. These things, people say they're 30 watts. 30 watt of LED. This thing's nowhere near 30 watts. I know how bright a 30 watt LED is, and it's about the same brightness as LED par. This is nowhere near a 30 watt white LED. Now a white LED is pure, cool white LED, like this colour. Really nice white. It's somehow, like, it might have been a lie on the internet. You just don't trust them if you're in a real life theatre situation, because sometimes they lie and it's not right when you buy it and you put it up and you're thinking it's bright, it's really bright, but actually they're bumming you and they've stolen all your money for just a 12 watt fixture and they're meant to give you a 30. So yeah, don't trust the internet. Now what we talk about moving heads, that these are lights that can do multiple things. These are things that are used around the world in large stages and large areas around the world. These things, they have things that are inside called a colour wheel and a gobo wheel. Now a colour wheel and a gobo wheel, in simplest form, I'll give you in the simplest form. A gobo wheel is where you have a cut out shape inside the metal turning wheel, or in some cases in the metal ring. And those things you can project a gobo or an image on. So you can project a dead guy shape, not a real dead guy, they're not that good. And you can project a circle, a heart, all that kind of stuff in these good fixtures. But there are some problems with gobos. Including these ones, you can't replace the gobos. Now, when I say replace, I mean you can't replace the gobo. That means you can't take the gobo out and swap it to a dead guy or other things. That's why this fixture, I don't use it a lot, because it hasn't got rechangeable gobos. It's not that bright and do those cool things. So you can get fixtures with interchangeable gobos. Just take a look at that, interchangeable gobos. Those things, you can use them wherever you like, they're really cool things. Now colour, it's basically an LED par, but actually some people say it's just really nice to have colour wheel. In real events in these fixtures, it's not that good. The colour wheel, the red is like duller than any dull colour you could ever think of, really dull. Other colours, they're not that bright, they're not dichroic colour wheel, which means the colour, when it's leaved on for a long time, doesn't, well, degrade or lose its colour. I don't think they really are, because if they were, then the price would be really high. But it's a fixture, and it's something good for starting DJs and for someone like me who's just getting started via DMX with DMX programming. I'm not starting, I'm just getting things out there and just want to play it out with massive lights. And these things are basically Martin moving heads. Really nice simple units. I don't think they really are, but they are something like that. Now there was one other thing, this little ring. Now this little ring, loads of people are like, what is it for? It's for your focus. Now focus is, I'll just give you the most simplest thing. It's to make sure that your gobo or image of spot or whatever you ever use is sharp. So really crisp, really good to use. It's really nice to have it focused. But the only problem with this is that it's manual. So you have to have someone up there spinning the knob to try and get this thing done. And also the head moves, which suddenly you think, oh my gosh, this thing may go out of line, which is normal. Until you can get motorised focus fixtures like the Focus Spot series by ADJ. Loads of people use those because they have a motorised focus and they're incredibly bright. And they are pretty good. But those things are quite expensive. Motorised fixtures are quite expensive, but branded fixtures for theatres and stuff, get them no matter what. Because cheap Chinese stuff won't be good. They may clog up, and if they break, you won't be able to repay or buy extra ones. Get stuff online is a bad deal. It's not always true, and it's never okay, because somebody may give you the wrong fixture, may be damaged. You can't rely on them. You can only rely on the proper company who's been doing this for years, like ADJ, Elation and ProLite, which is a really good company that do fixtures like this in those similar ways and smaller versions if you are a small to medium sized venue. Now, last one, wash moving heads. Now, I did have to point this down to the computer because this thing is bright. It's a 70 watt RGBW LED fixture. Now, people are saying that's a mouthful. Why would I even say that? Because these things, they're really nice to be used in theatres because they're nice wide angle and they are a moving head. So when I mean a moving head, like a spot fixture as well, you can move them around the arena or area or venue of your single type. So you can move this to like this left side, the right side, front or back or centre of your stage. Just with a few heads, it's really simple, really easy to do, and cheap because you don't need to get multiple parts. Now there is a problem with these, is that a fan, and when you turn the fixture off, well on the DMX board when you'd say blackout, the fixture's still outputting sound, just the fans. So that's why I'm still saying solid units are good. But when you get into a moving head, there's nowhere that does a solid head. Now, that means no fans, to be exact. You could get one that is really quiet, like these ones. I do really quite like these ones. But I didn't know how loud they were because we had a T-bar right up, which is one of these, with 4 of these bars and 1 of those on either bar. So I didn't really know how loud it was. It was nowhere near as the peaking point, which we normally know as noise point, and it's really loud. And it's like 2 kilowatt fans right next to your face. It's friggin' loud. So that's why people don't go for these fixtures, is because they can't trust them and they're just not good for stages. They are good for DJs, I will say. Those things are really good for me. Just don't get them, except for those. They're good for non-branded. There you go. That is my full-on talk about all of these lights, everything to do with them. It's incredible what all these lights can do, including that they're really cheap and they're just something I bought off the internet, and they're really nice units. This is just to say that Chinese fixtures, whatever. These fixtures are super nice, but in real events you will more want to go for the professional end when you're in theatres, and the low end for DJs. Now, some DJs are starting to go up to ADJ lighting, like the Starbursts and the Ricochets. Even people have the 16RX. If you guys don't know what that is, take a look at ADJ website, the Visi Hybrid 16RX. That thing's a beast, and I don't think you guys would want that if you're wanting to get the LED version of the Visi series, which is really nice and cool. But there you go. That's pretty much what I wanted to give to you. Is just think about in the future, in 2020, bulbs, no existence. LED fixtures going off the shelves for years to come. Loads of people are going to be buying them. I know that loads of theatres was thinking on going to LED bulb fixtures, you've got to go away from them in the next couple of years. You've got 2 years from now until goodbye bulbs, or you can start saving up money and buying those bulbs. You could do that, or you can start taking your entire an entire power station for every single show you do, which is not recommended. So bulb fixtures, you might as well just go to LED for what they can do. So ADJs, 5p hexes, moving heads from Equinox and all those kind of people, LEDJ, lighting, all those kind of people. Those are ones that you should look at first for schools or drama or performance stages kind of things that just want basic easy lighting. But in other companies such as Elation Professional, Martin, Claypaky, Robe, all of them, all of those major companies go for the real like high-end fixtures. They don't go for like the low-end people. So if you're a person who's feeling like, oh, this is cool, I like it, but let's just put some Martin heads in, don't, because the people who may do it may move on and the school will be left with £1,000 fixtures each. So you might as well just give them like the low end fixtures and, well, make sure they've got filters in first and so they're easier to use, and also that people, and also leave them an entire manual so they know what to do in case if something goes wrong, because the fixtures that I do use in a school that I normally go to, those fixtures, one of them broke and we don't know what, and I know what's wrong with them, but we can't be bothered to go up there to go and fix it. So that's why bulb fixtures, no more existence, just focus on LED in future. They are cleaner, easy to use, and of course less power. So thank you guys for watching. Please click a like, and any comments that you think, or any concerns that you think, and anything else you want me to talk about with lighting and all that kind of stuff, because I'm wanting to make an entire series on theatre and designing lighting, if you guys would like to know that. And please go on subscribe to try and subscribe to my channel, because all this stuff may be coming out. I might be getting some more of this stuff, so you guys can stay in touch, and I'll be definitely doing some more reviews and demos if you guys like to know a little bit more about lasers and projection and all that kind of stuff. And also DMX, I'll be doing a video on my DMX 2.0. If you guys don't know what that is, put it in Google, it will tell you. So there you go. And also I will be in the top right hand corner, there will be a card going to the link of my LED moving head, which is a LED wash moving head. Really cool fixture, I like that thing. And also the Derby and the Laser World EL230 RGB. Really nice fixtures. If you can't find them, go into my video section, they'll all be there. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.